The August Manifesto promised an elected assembly which was to be purely advisory. It had the ability to discuss proposed new laws, but it was not given any power in the lawmaking process. The October Manifesto promised a Duma with real power, in that new laws could only come into force with the Duma's approval. The fundamental laws of 1906 allowed the Tsar to bypass the Duma and restrict its powers to the barest minimum required by the wording of the October Manifesto.
During the last session of the Duma, we debated the measure for the use of the Polish language in schools of Western provinces. It's your Imperial Majesty, which is that the language should be admitted in order to improve the position of the Poles. The measure was worked out in the Duma in that sense. Now it's being debated in state councils and it's a defence by the representative of the government. Meanwhile, some members of the council are absent, others voted against it and the measure is rejected. Your Majesty will agree that members of the government either do not wish to execute your will or do not to make people to understand it. The nation feels bewildered. Each minister has its own opinion. The cabinet is generally split into two parties. The state council forms a third and the Duma forms a fourth. Your own will is unknown to the nation. You cannot go on like this, Your Majesty. This is not government, it is anarchy.
A principle that holds that states and society should be governed in accordance with fixed rules rather than by the whims of individuals. That is my will. Now leave.
Yes, Your Majesty.
A British historian in 1950 characterised post-1906 Russia as a semi-constitutional monarchy. Even with its flaws, Russia in 1940 had a constitution of sorts, and in the shape of 1906 fundamental laws. Case can be made for the view that autocracy in Russia was more or less re-established. The fundamental laws limited the Duma, so there were no serious limits on the Tsar's power. The Duma seemed unable to impose itself. Nicholas dissolved the Duma in 1906 and 1907. He also used power under the Article 87 of the Fundamental Laws to allow them to pass laws when the Duma wasn't in session. It turned into a largely autocratic state instead of a fully autocratic state. Another issue with the Tsar was that although he wanted autocracy, he had no real policies. He was inaccessible and failed to give his government clear direction. This was a recipe for the struggles between ministers for power and influence. Yes, I like it very much. What?
Harry's going to say, this was a recipe for the...